All right, welcome to the One More Thing Tech Podcast. Let me actually
You're muted right now.
mute myself. Yeah, I muted myself. All right, let's try that again. Welcome to the One More Thing Tech Podcast, your favorite tech podcast. I'm your host, Quasi,
And I'm Adam.
and Adam. Let me tell you about last night, man.
Okay.
Last night, I got something from DoorDash, and it was unnecessarily good, Adam.
Oh, I know where this is heading.
Last night, you had me get last night you texted me, you were like, have you tried Taco Bell's chicken nuggets? No, but I heard they're really good, right? And you were like, well, you got to try them. Just have to. So, I went and tried them. And genuinely, that might be the best thing Taco Bell sells. It has
Hands,
no reason to be as good as it is.
yeah,
Go ahead.
they have no business being that good. They
Not at all.
don't, or even making chicken nuggets at Taco Bell.
No,
But I'm
they have
so
no
glad
business
they
doing that
did.
either.
That phenomenal experience. Let me tell you
Definitely.
something. So person at work told me that they had them like Taco Bell has chicken nuggets. I'm like, okay. So last time I went there, I'm like, I gotta try these things. I'll get the 10 pack. We'll be good. Let's try this. And I got their honey mustard sauce. It's supposed to be spicy. It really wasn't though. Had a little kick to it.
Right.
Phenomenal. Like it's actually chicken. It's not like a pink slime from McDonald's. Let me tell you that. It's actually chicken. And huge fan. Let me tell you that. Huge fan.
Yeah, no, they're good.
I know it's completely off topic, but I want to get that out of the way because that's just phenomenal. It's not even a
Yes.
plug at all. They're not sponsoring this. It just I cannot go through life not telling the people about this phenomenal experience that I had.
No. But you brought up McDonald's. I have to say, two two episodes ago, I told everybody I was going to try the new Hershey's Frap and let them know what I thought. And then last episode, I just did not mention anything about it. It's a solid 9 out of 10. It's pretty good. I'm not the most what is it? I don't give out free ratings to food. I'm typically pretty stingy with my nines, and I never give anything a 10. So like the, these two, Taco Bell and McDonald's, they did their thing. I can
Yeah,
confidently say that.
I was so excited to see that too. Well, I'm glad we got that out of the way. That I want to see your take on that frappe because it was I had the notes, Quasi, okay? And I just didn't ask it last week, so I had to ask this week how they
Yeah,
were for you. But thanks for bringing that up for us.
of course, of course.
Okay, let's get to some tech news. I know we get some feedback from people saying we talk about a lot about Apple, and we weren't really saying this, but I want to say it out loud. We're kind of an Apple focused tech podcast, but we also bring up other tech too. Okay, there's times that Apple's not going to be as popular that season, or there's not much news and stuff like that. So we're gonna fill in some other news within that time. But we're getting close to dub dub, so it's gonna be more Apple focused than we've ever seen this podcast so far, right? So
Right.
I just want to say, let's clear the air with that first off. One little quick thing, Quasi. I know we've both seen this awful news this week. Um, the Genius Bar podcast officially stopped. It's a little sad.
Yeah,
Um,
especially because last week you told everyone to go watch it.
I I certainly did, and I was so sad about that. That was the inspiration for the show, um, that I had for the longest time. So it's sad to see them. They're not really gone. They do their own stuff, right? You have Sam doing, um, I update stuff, and then John doing Recycle Bin podcast along with Front Page Text. So they're not gone. They're just not doing stuff together right now. So it's a little sad, but we'll try to pick up their slack and go with this podcast, not to go too far off topic. But let's just
Yeah.
dive into the news about that, Quasi. Why don't we just do that?
Yeah.
It's an
Okay,
idea.
so first up for us today. Last week, after the recording, Fortnite was on the App Store. Like literally 10 minutes after we finished recording,
Yes.
it got on the App Store. And both of us downloaded it immediately.
Yes.
And
Before we get too far with
fun,
that,
go ahead.
so it was interesting. I'm like, how is this game only like 500 meg? There's no way. Right after you download it, it's
You have to
12 gig.
download it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a fat game.
Yeah.
It is a
Sorry, go
fat
ahead.
game. But yeah, no, they definitely baited me with that. I was like, oh, 500 gig, what? 500 megabytes? Are we serious? Right? Hit that download button. It downloaded. I was like, oh, I can't wait to play. And then I waited 40 minutes for it to install on my
40
study data.
minutes?
Yeah, because I wasn't in the house.
Oh. See, I've downloaded it and I have played it 0 times so far. I'm not boycotting. I just haven't played. I've had a lot of business this whole week, so it's just been crazy for me.
I've
But did you see that it's the
the number one
top
game.
top game that's free? And I mean, it's not surprising. Is the game awful? No. For me, it kind of hurts because what it was supposed to when it first was announced isn't at all. It's not like you go a save the world version of the game where you go out, get resources, build the fence up for the waves of not zombies, but what were they? Whatever
I
it
don't
was.
know. I never played Save the World.
Yeah, the enemy. Let's put it that way. So it was actually really fun. I liked that. The graphics were great and all that fun stuff. And then, PvP took over like it usually does with every game. And it needs to stop. I'm not saying PvP needs to go away. I'm more saying that it needs to not be the priority of games because there's more to games than just PvP. Okay. But anyway,
Right.
how was your experience with the game on your phone? And how'd you play it exactly?
So it runs pretty smooth. Um, Here's the issue though. The graphics are not that of the graphics on my Xbox, right?
Okay.
You can tell that they definitely had to like downscale it for the iPhone. And that's fine. The iPhone's a really powerful device, but this is a console level game. Speaking of and it's not just a console level game. People play it a lot on the computers. Speaking of which, it is not on Mac yet. I don't know if you saw that, but Fortnite is not on Mac. Even
Oh.
if you have Epic Games, it's still locked to season two, I believe. So
Oh. Let's I read somewhere that they're changing that. I don't think it's just ready yet.
yeah,
I mean,
even in the
maybe
EU,
Apple will block
there's
that
no.
one. Who knows? Yeah. But it's a top free game right now. I think it's just gonna be a phase. It's not gonna be top forever. We'll see though. I mean, are they gonna bring Rocket League to iOS? That's what I want to see. Far better game, in my opinion.
I used to think the same thing, and then I went on like a 14 game losing streak. And then
I'm not good at it.
you play the doubles mode, and you get stuck with the worst teammates ever. And it shouldn't be that hard. It's just cars playing soccer. You should have at least a 50% win rate in that game. And it's just like sometimes you gotta hang it up, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I had to hang it up.
yeah. I have the Batman like Dark Knight car, which
Oh, that's
supposedly
fire.
is rare. Um, I think I paid for it actually too. It looks great, but that'd be a nice game to see on the App Store. Because on my Steam Deck, I have to go through alternate ways to get it. I mean, I did purchase it. It's just I had to go through a different launcher and stuff like that for it to work. But you know,
Right.
it's fun still.
Okay, before we switch topics, I do want to bring up that the biggest change between Fortnite now and Fortnite then is the payment method. Um,
Yes.
I think we brought it up last time or last episode, but like I personally saw it by myself in the shop when you want to buy V-Bucks for the 8.99 $1,000 V or 1,000 V-Bucks thing. It gives you a choice to say either pay with Apple's payment method or go out of your way and pay with Epic, but you get 20% back in rewards. And they've actually been advertising this 20% back in rewards all over the place, like on Instagram,
Oh yeah,
on
I've seen it.
Instagram is the only place I saw it. But I'm really only on Instagram when it comes to social media. So that's I think it's a good thing in terms of, being able to get rewards and stuff, but undercutting Apple is kind of sleazy, but it's whatever.
Yeah. Also, just a quick little not side topic, but same thing. Did you see that as soon as they got on the App Store, they had these ads that were like obviously, well done with great type of video editing and all this other stuff. And it was interesting that like all this was made so far in advance where they had like they just knew it was gonna be there. So I've seen more ads now I've ever seen for Fortnite in my life,
I'm
and
telling you,
it's
it's
just
everywhere.
it's crazy. So like, I think they had some knowledge ahead of time they're gonna win. Let's just put it that way. So or they just had,
What if they paid off the judge? I wouldn't
oh,
be surprised.
does
Well,
yeah, just like in Landman, not Landman. There's a show called Goliath where he tells Judge, "You sound bought," and that's just kind of what I've seen here too. So, any case, not to throw out conspiracies, but there's those ads came out
I
really
wouldn't be
quickly.
surprised.
It is epic. Come on now.
But then again,
Um,
they might have just, wishful thinking.
yeah,
Just
I
had
mean,
it in the back of their pocket in case.
that's a lot of money to throw at a game that you might not get the approval for. I gotta say though, but we'll see. I mean, I'm glad it's there. I'm not like anti Fortnite. I suck at it. So for me playing it,
I
I
think
get
we
more
should like
angry when twitchy people are way better than me. And I'm not saying that that should be the case. I'm just saying, put me in a tier that is like me that sucks so I can get better. That's all I'm asking. Come
dude,
on.
I think that's why you have to play mobile. Like, I'm
Maybe.
90% sure I played all bots when I was on mobile.
Okay, but when you say bots, you're talking about people that are bad. I want
No, I'm
the
talking about
actual
like
bot.
actual bots.
Oh, okay, okay,
I
okay.
think it was 90 bots in my lobby and nine
I'll have to
players.
try. I'll try it. I will. I will promise you for the next episode, I will play at least one game. Okay, and I'll
I'm
report
thinking
back.
maybe we should start like a gaming channel so we can watch
Ooh,
you watch you play Fortnite.
if you want to see some regret, let me tell you. Okay. I know we mentioned so Dub Dub is vastly approaching. We're under
Like
a
a
month
week
out at this
away.
point.
Yeah. Wait,
My God,
not a week. I can't do
it's
that.
like
It'll be
what
like a week when we get this
Yeah,
episode out.
it's so quick. It's actually like less than 2 weeks now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So one of the things that was mentioned is the HomePad, which is a HomePod with an iPad Mini like screen to control your whole smart home. And we're seeing some feedback from supply chains mentioning that they are not going to include some features because it's not up to par. And what they're going to be removing is some of the core functionality within the software, it sounds like. And boy, they don't even really tell you what it is, besides just some things were removed because it wasn't up to par. And I want to see your thoughts with that. Is that because you think more of these like devices that connect to it aren't working with it? Or is it just HomeKit lacking in today's iOS?
That's a great question. So I definitely think that it's got to be HomeKit because I don't know how to put it, but the software is good, right? Everybody knows that every software Apple puts out is pretty much great. But
Apple
I
Intelligence.
do, huh?
Sorry. Apple Intelligence sucks. Sorry.
Oh,
Besides that's great. You're right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But besides Apple Intelligence, we try to sweep that under the rug and not talk about that. But they were very vague in what the issues are. So I definitely think it's more of like because it can't be a hardware issue because it's what a home pod with a screen and an A18 chip. That's more than capable of running whatever it's trying to run. Unless you want it to be Jarvis, which I think is definitely capable of at this point.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think it's a hardware issue. So I think it's something to do with like integrating maybe with Google devices, with Amazon Blink and stuff like that. I think that they need to figure out how to, sort of mesh some of those better together in the software, if that makes sense. I think I was just yapping there.
Oh, no. No, I think you're completely right. I just had like a side question with this HomePad. Do
Okay.
you think we're going to see a HomePad system that does not include a speaker, but rather like just goes on your wall, for instance, and then connects via Bluetooth to other HomePods that are just not, a HomePad device? Just a quick question.
Ooh, I don't know. It could be possible because the way I think it's not Bluetooth connection, but I think if you're on the same Wi-Fi, it'll probably connect. If
It's
that
a
makes sense.
HomeKit device. I mean, you think that would to be integrated somehow, some
Yeah,
way. And I'm not saying what they're doing here is looking bad. I mean, for those that are audio listeners, the Mac Rumors article basically shows a full size HomePod with an iPad Mini, kind of. It's more wide than tall. But essentially, it's just a screen that has, well, it's like an iPad. So the device I think is pretty neat. I think it's gonna be a great step into a smart home integration besides what they have now. Because you have an iPad, you have a home pod, but having those things together is nice because you have the option to talk to Siri and then see that device because it's not like it's two devices that's Bluetooth. It's one device that hopefully is more seamless integration. Because now, let me tell you, if I tell a HomePod to do anything and say, "Hey Siri," nothing happens. I said, "Hey Siri" this weekend 4 times for a simple thing, Quasi, and it did nothing. It never even acknowledged I was there.
dang,
I
that's
don't know.
unfortunate.
I don't know. But and this is on my watch, my phone, and everything else. So I mean, this is probably their solution to having that lack of processing or something. I don't know, but I'm excited to see this because, and then I want to see which devices are going to be right off the bat just ready to go. Is Arlo? Is it
Yeah.
going to be August locks? Is it going to be Nest and all this other stuff? Because that's what I want to see, and I'm excited for this.
Okay,
Just
so I have a question though.
okay, go ahead.
You know how do you know the Google Nest Hub where it's
I
like the
yes,
speaker and the iPad can, or it's not an iPad, but the tablet connects to the speaker?
yes.
Do you think it's going to be that similar situation where you can take it off or
I don't think so.
no? Okay.
No,
I didn't think so either. But
because if I had a guess, this is my guess. I'm guessing that screen is not where it's going to house the actual like processing. It's going to be in the HomePod.
right.
That's my guess. Could be wrong, but it would be weird to see this like turn into an iPad and then turn into a HomePod.
I mean, that makes
Seems
sense
like
though.
not an Apple
Yeah.
thing. I mean, it could, right? I
I
mean,
mean, I'd love
with
if
the
it
iPad,
did.
it'd be nice to
That'd be
see.
absolutely amazing.
It would be. Um, but like even with the Nest Hub, okay, who's like, I can't wait to use the screen for a tablet, like maybe to like bring it with you to continue your home automation, to like turn off the lights here or make sure the garage door is shut. Maybe that's a
Yeah.
reason for it working like this, and that's a good reason for it. But I don't see this happening for this HomePad. I could be completely wrong, but I think it's gonna be meant for it to stay on like a counter or something like that, and then go from there.
All
Um,
right.
But yeah, I'm excited for it. Let us know in the comments what you think. If this is something you would be purchasing, or if you have any questions about it, or what do you want to see with it? Besides just like an iPad HomePod, is it going to be something that you're like, oh, I'm jumping on this, or you're like, I don't know, I'm not sure. And tell us why, please.
All right.
Okay, this is the part of the show where people assume that we are complete Apple sheep, and we both love Apple. That's correct. But let me tell
No,
you
I
something.
think that was literally the last two segments, but go ahead.
Let me tell you something. One thing that I've noticed is Tim Cook has had, let's just say, quite a bit of feedback this year. It's not positive, okay? And I want to discuss some of these things to see what your thoughts were and kind of where Apple's as a whole right now. Just to kind of start off with things, um, Tim Cook has had a rough road this year, and the end of last year too. And it's become evident that I'm not sure if he's at a decline right now or if he's just ready to retire or if he's just a lot of things are happening. He's just in the crossfire. I don't know precisely, but I can tell you this much is, we've seen with the board of directors of Apple and Tim Cook that without question, Apple Intelligence was a product offered by Apple where it was not up to par. And we are still seeing delays far too long that I'm excited to see. So, with that being said, we see more of the tariffs happening too, which I read this article. This could be complete not true, but this is what I read that Tim Cook is supposed to was supposedly helping Trump with these tariffs to cause some issues with their supply chain in China. In doing so, they can then bring their products to other countries to make it cheaper or have better shipping routes or whatever the case is. But their way to drop off of that is to have higher tariff costs so they can then do that without breaking a contract. And there's a bunch of other things too where we're not seeing that Tim Cook that I know and like to see what his visionary status of making new product at Apple. I mean, the Vision Pro, in my experience, was his last hurrah. I don't see that Tim Cook where he is so motivated to make something great, to improve what he already has, and to make it really incredible. I don't see that passion from Tim right now. And I don't know why. What are your thoughts, Gracie?
Okay, so Tim Cook has never been the guy behind the design, you know? He's not the guy who's like who was Steve Jobs was the one who was known for being the great designer and always having visionary visions of what the next product will be. Tim Cook, now I'm not saying that to diss Tim Cook, right? Tim Cook filled a different role, a role that Apple really needed. He was a supply chain guy.
Yeah.
And my God, was he a great supply chain guy? Still is, right? But I feel like it's coming out a little bit now. He's getting older and the spotlight's more on him. And especially with him being ready to retire, and everybody knows it's coming here in the next couple of years, that spotlight is just going to stay on him. It's going to shine bright. I don't think he's doing anything that he hasn't done before. You know, sure, President Trump had asked him to go delegate in the Middle East, but you know, Tim Cook doesn't have to. It's not like he's being forced to. You know what I mean? Sure, if the president asked me to do something, I don't care which president it is, I'm probably gonna do it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
at this point, Tim Cook is. T Let me put it like this: when I'm ready to be done working, I don't think I'm gonna give myself more work. You know what I mean? Like if I'm nearing retirement, I'm not gonna pick up a second job, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's kind of putting him in a bad spotlight, but at the same time, there's so many other people that can go. Sure, not as many people are as influential as Apple's CEO, but you know, give Tim a break is what I'm trying to say.
Well, and here's my stance too. Do I blame Apple Intelligence on Tim Cook? No, not entirely. If the board was outweighing his decision with pushing it out now and making things ramp up faster than they could do with themselves, then that's on them, right? And it's like the president. They get a lot of rap for things that's not their control at all. Like Congress could be the reason for things, and then the president gets all the rap for it.
Right.
But that's part of the job, I would say, right? So if that's the case, what I would say is they've gotten a lot of feedback over the last couple of years, and Apple has to understand that if they pull that stunt again like they did last year with Apple Intelligence and some of these delays and all this other stuff, it's going to go downhill rapidly with Apple. I'm not saying they're going to close as a company. I'm saying they're going to get hit hard and the investors are not going to be happy. Okay. So if that's the case, Tim needs to take the investors, put them in a room and say, listen, you cannot do that ever again. You have to sit down, let me do what I do best and make this thing work like it used to. And let them sit down and just watch the magic happen. Because if they pull just even an Apple Intelligence with the next iOS, okay, or something like that, it's going to be just catastrophic for Apple. Part of
Right.
the reason why we choose iPhone is for the iOS experience. That can't be bad. It can't. It can. If it is, it's gonna just make people go to Android again because, as you know, Quasi, Android 16 just got launched,
Yep.
and now we have to see how is the comparison between iOS and that's going to come out in Dub, and we're going to find out. Now we're told that there's a huge overhaul, right? New app designs, new all this stuff. We hear that every year. I want to see them go above and beyond, fix some things, and get it right. Because Tim Cook, and let me tell you, he's under the gun right now, and they have 15 products they're launching this year, including software. This is more pressure he's probably ever had in his career to make it right. And I'm excited to see that because he knows what's at risk. He understands it's not just his on the line, it's everybody's. And it's going to be more challenging to sell an iPhone this year because you know it's going to be more expensive than it ever has been, right? Because
So
of
I thought they were
tariffs and
going to
all this other
offset
stuff.
cost a lot.
Well, they
I thought
are,
Apple was going
but
to pick up that cost.
they are, but if that's okay, that's the case. It's still gonna cost more for them. Either us or them, it's gonna cost more. Because now they're also shifting to India, and yeah, that's a whole new trade route that they'd not really tackled too much into. They had some Apple Watches go out in India, I believe, and some Macs. But in scale, not like an iPhone shipment where it's, I'm guessing 55,000 ships. I don't know. And planes and everything else. It's different and it's new for them. So is that going to cause some friction and some issues because it's a whole new crew, right?
Right.
One thing people, and this I think brought up last episode too, there was an article, actually a video, where they interviewed Tim and they asked, why do you choose China for your manufacturing? Everybody thinks it's because it's cheap labor, right? That's a small part of it, he said. He says it's because they are efficient and their quality and their excellence of what they send out is so far beyond everywhere else in the whole entire world. I'm not saying they can't do it, but I'm saying the percentage of failures is so much smaller compared to like if we went to the United States. First off, it's going to be triple the price of an iPhone because our
Oh,
labor laws
definitely.
are way different, right? And I'm not sure if we could even at the same speed of trying to get it out. I mean, they are prepping. Last I heard like 30,000 iPhones a month. That is nuts, if not more. I mean, maybe it's more than that, but that's a big reason they choose that. So when they're moving and shifting to Texas and then India and all those other places, is that going to? It's all new because I don't think Tim's ever done that before in mass scale like this. With iPads and stuff, yes, that's one thing in Max, but it's not like an iPhone. It's just different.
Okay, but here's the thing though. You got to trust Tim Cook here because again, he's the supply chain guy. When have you ever had an
Yeah.
iPhone that when have you ever seen an iPhone that's not readily available?
Oh, I haven't, and I'm not saying he can't pull off. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying it's a new route. So I'm not saying he's not capable of doing that, but I'm more so saying it's not like a gradual shift that they're doing here. It's a one lump sum from China over to all these other locations. Now they're still using China, okay? Keep that in mind. But they're focusing a bigger portion of this to other locations, and it's rapid. To my understanding from what Tim did, it was a gradual build up to where it is now. But doing this is a whole new subset of what he does. And like you said, to add more work at towards the end of his career, if that's happening soon, that's a lot. Maybe that's just giving him a lot of stress that he's not usually ready for. I don't know.
Right.
But what I'm more saying is the man's been through a lot. Okay. I know that we should, give him some credit for where credit's due, but I think that we'll see if he is redeeming himself in Dub and then the launch of the iPhone later this year. Because that's where it's going to bring home if he's really back in the game or not, I think. And he's capable. We both know that. But why is he scaling back from what he usually does? Because I don't see Tim having that passion and having that drive like he usually does. And if it's not him causing these problems, why is it allowed? Why is Tim allowing this? Then he never would allow, the another company or something like that dictating what he's gonna do with his products. When would you ever assume Tim's gonna bend down and let Epic just forcibly put themselves in the App Store when they said no? Like it's different now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know why. It's scary. So all to say, I'm not saying Tim is completely drowned out or he's just done. I'm more saying I see his shift and I don't know why he's pushing certain things that I've never seen before, right? And I know there's different markets, there's different things he's doing now, but it's a little bit scary because we're at a point in time now where it's just I don't know. Maybe he's just prepping somebody to be up
Hold on,
next.
Adam. 1 second. I gotta answer this door really quick.
Okay, so just to kind of go over some things here. Something I did not know that's happening too is, did you know that Apple's facing internal problems with executives and big people leaving Apple right now?
Yeah, so
I did not know that at all, by the way.
I think it was the old Apple intelligence team. Craig Federighi's people weren't too happy with them because, Craig Federighi's people actually do work. You know
Oh
what I
my
mean?
gosh.
And those people put out a subpar product and they were getting paid just as much, if not more, than what the actual people putting out decent work were being paid. So, you know, Craig Federighi sticks out his neck for his. I gotta put it out there. I don't think there's any big tech executive that I like as much as Craig Federighi.
Same.
He might be my favorite guy ever because his hair is awesome and he's always looking out for
And he
everybody.
knows it.
He knows it. Dude, Craig Federighi is awesome. This is why people think we only care about Apple.
Well, okay. To be a little bit off topic with this, of the current Apple executives, who would you vote to be next CEO if Tim were to step down?
Oh, definitely Craig Federighi, 100%. Um,
Okay, so as much as I want to see Craig step up because his passion is through the roof, his keynotes is another ball game for Dub Dub for sure, right? But there's one more person that everybody keeps saying is up for the next role of Tim Cook,
is it
and that
Jaws?
is no
Not Jaws. Oh, interesting.
John Ternus. Ternus.
Uh,
He's a senior vice
he's
president
the
of
Apple
hardware
Watch guy,
engineering.
right?
No, he's not the Apple. That's Jeff Williams.
Wait, is he? I see his face in the keynotes all the time.
Yeah, just pull up the apple.com/leadership and let's can you want to share your screen so we can show the audience this?
Yeah, 1 second. I almost just exited out the tab that we're recording this on. That would not
That
have
would
been
be
great.
very not fun at all.
So I'm actually like,
This guy.
this is set.
This is what most people are assuming, what market leaders are saying is going to be the next CEO of Apple. He he's actually really good. He's been pushing a lot more things that you can imagine. I think he was also part of the team who was um did the Vision Pro. I think that was more of his project, I think too. So
Dude,
if
I'm
that's the
like
case,
so sure he was. Hold on, let me go to the last what was it, September that they do it? Apple event. What was it? 2024?
that was the last year, yes.
Hold on, let me zoom through to see where I see this guy at. He is not the Apple Watch guy.
No, it's Jeff Williams. That's the Apple Watch guy.
Okay, I was wrong.
Yeah. Hope it's
Where did
not
I
him,
see
by the
this
way.
guy at? He's definitely in the keynote.
Oh, he will talk about the iPhones and Macs. Basically, is what he's doing. See Jeff Williams top right. There's your Apple Watch guy.
Yeah.
I hope he's not the CEO,
Hold
by
on,
the
I'm
way.
seeing Craig Federighi in the Apple and the iPhone 16 thing though.
Oh yeah. Well, he's talking about iOS for sure.
Well, I think
And I'm not saying that Craig can't do it. That's not what I'm saying. but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to pull off that the hardware side of things. I'm not sure that's his strong point, right? I mean,
Yeah.
okay, look at that. Look at Johnny. Now I'm gonna get his last name wrong so badly. Johnny Sorigi, whatever. Senior Vice President of Hardware Technologies. That guy.
This is the guy
Look at
got
him really
the
quick.
Apple Intelligence. I'm pretty sure. Not Apple Intelligence. The chips. The chips. Why do I
Yeah,
call
yeah.
it Apple Intelligence?
This guy is the Apple Silicon designer, not designer. He's an engineer in a whole new scale, and this guy is unbelievably incredible at what he does. He's the guy that brought yearly upgrades to processors, Quasi. That's the
Where's
guy.
his eyebrows at?
You know, he trades those off to make incredible M1 chips, okay? And so on. Let me tell you, eyebrows are not required for this man to do his work, okay? He's pulling off insanely incredible. So put this guy in charge of more hardware for crying out loud if he can pull it off, because this guy is insane what he does. But I guess overall, if anybody can pull off the next CEO, I would want it to be Craig. Now he's getting older too. Now how long is he going to do it for? I don't know. He's still kind of old.
I don't know. He feels young.
Well, I know he does. But yes, I would vote for Craig Federighi because his passion is where it's at. And I think he's going to drive Apple to a whole new dimension that we've never seen before. And you know what? Ian Tim is going to be retired. Let him be like, part-time supply chain guy still. Cause like he's got that down so well.
No, he's so good at it.
I mean, it's crazy. And I wish I could figure out from the leadership here, whoever is in charge of the Apple colors, because whoever that is needs to be fired, by the way, too.
You
I'm
always
telling
say this.
I'm just telling you, why do the base models of iPhones have better colors than the Pro models?
I just don't think the pro users care that much about it.
But they would. Tell me if there was a black iPhone for a Pro model, that there would not be a bigger celebration than the Cubs win the World Series again.
I don't know.
I'm telling you.
I guess there might be because the World Series. I'm about to offend so many people, but it's not that popular.
Okay, okay,
Dude,
okay.
I couldn't even tell you who won the last World Series.
If you seen a gold, not like a faint of gold and like a matte color system, whatever. If you saw a gold and black iPhone as a second option for a color, and then white, if there was a gold and black iPhone, the next iPhone, or the Pro Anniversary Edition, right? If they do that, there will be Apple would have to build 14 banks to consume that much income because that is they had the Apple Watch edition. Okay, if you remember that, Quasi, this is a far back long ago. That was a actual 24 karat gold plated system with black on it. Phenomenal. Do that again. Because our current gold, eh, I'm gonna get upset. It's just pathetic. And who's signing off on that?
I'll tell you who's not signing off on that. Johnny Ive, because he left Apple, right? And that's a perfect transition to not answer what you were saying, but go to our next.
Yeah.
Um, but to go back to what you're saying, I just don't think people care about the pro users care about the color that much. Like if they drop a new black and gold iPhone, I'm still just gonna get the black one. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay. It's because we don't have an option, Quasi.
well, I don't
It's
know
what
if
we
somebody else
get.
get it.
But like Product Red when it came out was revolutionary. People were going nuts over that. It was you couldn't even find it in stores anymore. It was delays like none other. Bring back a black iPhone and not space gray needs to go back in space and fly away from Earth. Just go away. Done.
This space gray is not it. Like,
Not it.
whatever.
It's better for Macs now than it was, right? But
No,
make
my
it
Mac
black.
still is in black.
Well,
I have the
it's
space black Mac, and it's not black. So
exactly. In space, black should be like the most black you can ever think of, but it's just not in this case. I know we're
Promise
going
you.
off topic a lot here, but any case,
So Johnny Ive,
oh,
right?
man,
He had this. What was it? And it was a hardware company, I believe,
yeah,
that just got bought out by none other than OpenAI. Um,
your
Gotta get
mic,
this.
by the way, is
Oh, I like completely moved my mic earlier when I
sorry.
was like sitting back all the way. But now, so like I was trying to say, I don't know if you guys heard me, but OpenAI just bought former iPhone designer Johnny Ives hardware startup, and they made him the creative head. So if y'all don't know, Johnny Ive was that guy. I'm talking iPhone original. He was the guy. Him and Steve Jobs were like this,
The
right?
goat,
Like
the goat.
Johnny Ive was actually, oh my goodness, you don't understand how good Johnny Ive was in his prime. And his thing was, here's what I love about him. His design philosophy is just so simple. You know, he makes everything simple, but it makes it look amazing. Like
Yes,
the Steve Jobs Theater in Apple Park, the one with no pillars and it's just a huge panel of glass all around. Oh, it's beautiful.
yes. And let
But
me tell you something too.
go ahead.
His other gift, okay, was his ability to talk about a product in such a simple way, and the voice that he portrayed in that marketing was so soothing. As I said before, your house can be on fire, okay? A dog running past you, it's on fire. It doesn't matter. His voice would have calmed you down, would have lowered your heart rate, and just made you just say, this is where we're at right now. And the way he would do that was unparalleled. No one has done it since, and it's just been fantastic. If Apple could bring him back for 1 year for the next iPhone to help design it and market it, Quasi, it would be uncanny what would happen because I don't care if he's not in his prime. Having him come back will be nostalgic more than I've ever seen in my entire life. And just do that, you know? Give him $45 billion, whatever it takes. Bring
45
him
billion is
back.
kind of crazy.
I know it's crazy. Just saying, he's worth it. Don't tell me he's not worth it.
No, he's
He's
definitely
worth
worth
it.
it, but
Every
45
penny.
billion is
It's
insane.
okay. Okay. $45 million. Whatever it takes. Okay. But bring him back for the next iPhone anniversary, which is next year, by the way, and we'll see. We'll see what we can pull off. Um, there's rumors that they're doing that, but I'm not sure yet. Could you imagine hearing his voice in the keynote one last time? Just
It'd
one more
be
time.
awesome.
It'd be phenomenal. So, any case, yeah, OpenAI bought this, which I was surprised it was OpenAI buying a hardware company, but for $6.5 billion.
A lot of money. I can't count that high.
Yeah. I mean, it's not surprising because what they charge per month, they can probably buy, this 6 times over, if not more.
Right. Dude,
But
that ChatGPT Plus subscription is expensive.
yeah, but then there's that one beyond that, right? There's that like the full blown Chat GPT besides the plus, isn't there? It's like 50 plus. I think it's like, what is that?
Hold on, let's look at the pricing really quick.
Uh,
Let me Chat GPT Plus price. All right, let me share my screen here so everyone can see what we're looking at.
it's not pro. It might be pro.
Subscription.
Yeah. You ready for this? Go to Chat GPT Pro. Look at the price
Hold
of
on.
that. Does it say there?
Hold on, we're not ready for this. Ah! Oh yeah. Imagine just 10 people
My
buying this a month.
goodness.
$2,000 right there.
That's like paying for Starbucks for
What is
8 employees.
what is abusing
Seriously.
guardrails?
Oh my goodness. 200 a month. So it's no surprise they can pull this off, Quasi. That they buy
Yeah,
this
I gotta be
for,
honest.
oh my
This is
gosh.
chump change for them apparently.
Yeah, but I mean, How many people do you think have that pro plan?
Two.
I, I mean, what if it's 8,000 people? I don't know.
I don't think 8,000 people are gonna pay $200. Dude,
Yeah,
if
I
it's
don't know either.
8,000 people, that's what? 16,000 or 160,000 a month?
That
Dude, that's
that's
all.
nuts.
That's insane.
Yeah. Is it worth it to you? Like,
Well, I don't know.
because you use it, right? You use at
I
least.
definitely use it sometimes. Not for schoolwork or anything, though. If any of my professors watch this, I've never used it on schoolwork. No, but no, it's ChatGPT is pretty great. When I needed help, can't give a specific time, but I know it's been there for me. Let me see what I've used ChatGPT for over the years. And I'm actually like not gonna share my screen on this one because there might be some things that you know. Log in. Give me a second. Continue with Apple.
Oh wow, you use that still, huh?
Continue with Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just convenient.
I'm not saying it's not. It's just yeah, it's remembering that email that it gives you, right, for certain things.
Yeah, but like I have iCloud, and the way it works is hold
Yeah,
on
but like
to.
log in to like that service on a Windows computer.
Oh yeah, I just don't do that.
I mean that's its only flaw, I would say. Other than that, it's pretty nice, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, just in my opinion, just don't log in on a Windows computer. Okay,
Yeah.
so I needed some audio editing help. I couldn't figure out how to what was I doing? Oh, I was on GarageBand. I was making a I forget what I was doing. It was like a song I was doing with my brother. And then there was an email I had to help me write. I had it put something into a PDF for me. I had to
Okay.
think of some plays for self-preservation for me for a assignment, but we were allowed to use AI on that. Um, I looked into self-preservation in Hamilton, stuff like that. It's great. And when I needed help to the conclusion of an essay back in high school, it was there for me. When I needed limitless potential or how to grow money faster with compound interest, it helped me out there. So, ChatGPT is the GOAT.
It's nice. I'm not opposed to it by any
I was gonna say
chance.
Grok.
I'm gonna say Grok. All I'm trying to say about Grok is just don't forget that it's there. I know that ChatGPT as a whole offers more for most things, right? I would say Grok does more um, coding backgrounds a little better sometimes, in my experience. Image creation is pretty nice on Grok as well, and it's like far less Quasi than like every plan that they offer at OpenAI. Just so you know, it's kind
Oh,
of expensive.
oh yeah, I
I
could
mean,
tell.
I mean, I think we're talking about what is it, 20 a month
Mm.
for their,
ChatGPT Plus.
that is just plus, yes. It's $8 with Grok. So if you want to use a alternative to ChatGPT, just at least to try things out, because I encourage it, just try it out and see what you guys think. Just try it for a month and see what you think about it. Is it going to be completely better? Probably not in every way, but what it does have is pretty nice. I like that.
Oh,
So,
great. All
in any
right.
case, probably going off topic a little bit here.
Yep, it's
Um,
time for app of the week, Adam.
App of the week. What's yours, Quasi?
My app of the week this week has got to be Fortnite. Uh,
Fortnite, huh?
yeah. Here's the reason. It just got back to the App Store. It's number one in the App Store, and I have. Hold on, let me do some quick math real quick. 7 divided by 8 is what? 9 or 80? Hold on. Uh, it's about, I think 88% is what I could be wrong, but I think it's about 88% if I played 7 games and I've won eight, or if I played 8 games and I've won seven. That's
Okay.
like 88% win rate. So that's the reason, an 88% win rate is the highest I have in any game right now. Um, which is crazy because I've played NBA 2K every day since being at home, and I have nowhere close to an 88% win rate.
Okay.
So there's
That's
that.
interesting. Okay. Mine is going to be Brave.
Mm,
For those who do not know, it's a Google Chrome based browser, uses Chromium, and like out of the box, it'll block ads, much like it does on Windows and Mac and everything else. That is just a cool function that I like. I know in Safari you can do disappear certain elements, but out of the box it blocks ads
greatest
and
feature.
trackers. Huh?
The disappear elements where it just Thanos snaps them
Yeah.
away.
Oh, it's
Greatest
nice.
feature ever.
There's only one downside. It doesn't just like keep it disappeared. You gotta do it every time for
Yeah.
every session. That's the only downside with it, but it works great when you use it though. But people probably don't know about Brave. Not only does it block ads, like I said, the trackers. Now, what's a tracker? A tracker is a website piece of software or a cookie or something like that will track your behavior on the website. So let's say you're a news website and you're like, man, he is just so into this Wilson 3D basketball. Where he's surfing more ads. Okay. It's going to know based upon what he clicks on, where his eyes are on the screen, based upon, how he moves and stops, that this is something that he likes. Google's the first to probably use this, and they still use it today. And it kind of blocks that because I didn't give consent to you tracking how I use your website for crying out loud. So stop it.
So I
And I
actually
know you
think you do when
consent.
you accept cookies, but
I, yeah, but no one reads all that. Quasi, they just want to use the website for what it's for. So it blocks all that stuff, and I just love that. And I think people don't realize what they're getting into when they're not blocking that. So for me, it's Brave, and I mean, just not seeing ads. It's just a great experience. I mean, I hate ads, like we both discussed several times.
oh yeah,
So
definitely.
for me, it's gonna be great to see that gone. So that's my thing. App of the week is Brave.
All right. So I think that just about wraps it up for this episode.
Yes.
Unless there's something that you want to say aside from everybody subscribe now. You gotta subscribe now. There's only a limited time to do it. You gotta do it right now. You got about 5 seconds. Five, four, three, two, one. All right. If you didn't subscribe in those 5 seconds, you're just not an OG anymore. This is like the last OG episode because now we're about to take the place of Genius Bar, and you can't be an OG if you didn't subscribe right now. So I'm gonna give y'all one more chance to like and subscribe. All right, y'all got to the end of the episode. If y'all not like to subscribe, then I can't help you. You can't get that OG tag. You
Yes.
know what I mean?
But he's not a can. We will make a role in Discord for those people who are doing this. But I
Also,
want to
join
see
the
some more.
Discord, guys.
Yeah, join that. I want to see some more action. I want to see what you guys think of this show. Let's bring some discussions there. Let's bring some topics and let's grow that community as well. So that's all I want to say there for sure. And we love doing this. I know that we've had some bumpy startups with audio and video. We're trying to work that out still 100%. I am not an expert, if you can believe in this. Quasi is way more closer to being an expert than I am with this stuff. And we're both learning this still. So we're sorry for the some bad audio and bad video that we're trying to work out. Like right now, I would say for Quasi being like at least 12 miles away from me, if not more.
At least.
It's worked out. So we set this up so we can record basically wherever. And we're trying to get the kinks out still, make things a little better for. We're trying to enhance it every episode. So please give us some support if you can by just liking, subscribing, following, and almost every platform. Now we're expanding YouTube as well. So for audio listeners, we're on YouTube as well, so you can watch us there, and we're trying to perfect that as well. So any feedback is just very helpful. I promise you, we're not gonna get mad at you if it's not good feedback.
No
All
way.
feedback is good
He's not
feedback.
gonna get mad at you. Okay, let's not get it twisted. I will be in the Discord yelling at people. Of course,
Yes.
all jokes, guys. But that about wraps it up for this episode. If you got this far, comment stereo in the
Stereo.
description, or not in the description, in the comment section. We're gonna try and confuse people. They won't know what stereo means. It's gonna be like a little code. We'll bring it up again sometime in the future. But just the word stereo. And
Okay.
as for the rest of it, I hope you guys have a great week. We will see you next week.
Okay. Have a fantastic week, and we'll see you again.
Bye.
Bye.